Friends, Happy New Year. It is the first Go Figure Friday of 2019, and I'm going to be talking about a first for me in just a moment. First, though, quick plug, Stride Pro Wrestling returning Saturday night. If you're watching this on Friday, of course it is tomorrow night, Stride Pro Wrestling, 1130 North Division Street, the Stride Pro Wrestling facility. Be sure to join us out there. And I was going to talk more about customs today to go along with Stride. I'll be doing that on a future episode, though, I promise. But I figured since it's the first episode of a new year, I'd talk about my very first Hasbro figure, WWF Hasbro figure. This is the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, obviously. He was one of 12 superstars that was released in this very first line. This is, if you want to know more about Hasbro figures, or wrestling figures in general, listen to the Major Wrestling Figure podcast with Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Their Christmas episode is very elaborate. They go into all the details of the Hasbro lineup specifically because these were the, their LJNs. They grew up with these Hasbro figures. I became a collector of the Hasbros much later in my life. I say much later in my life, much later in my childhood. $1 Million Man, though, this actually, by the way, I talk about first with this one. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Slick were the very last LJN figures I collected. So, we have a last and a first here. Kind of an interesting correlation, and I actually just realized it as I was talking here. So, I want to talk a little bit more about the $1 Million Man figure. I was a senior in high school, I believe, or it might have been the summer before my senior year. I think these came out in 1990. I graduated in 91, and it may have been that summer of 91 as well. Anyway, I bought the figure, and I decided then that I was not going to take my figures out, and yes, I still had matches with my figures all through high school. I decided I was going to leave them in the package, and they'd become collectible and worth money. You can see behind me there are some some Hasbros loose, and I'll talk more about that, and I'll actually let some of those figures breathe because I have a lot that are still MOC, mint on card. But the reason I'm leaving this one in the box is because in 2006, you can see it right here, I met Ted DiBiase, and he actually autographed this. So the box is getting a little more, or the card is getting a little bent and whatnot. I'm going to actually keep it out of storage. I've had it in storage for years. I'm going to let it, I'm going to showcase, I'm going to show it off because of the autograph and meeting him not once but twice. I met him in 2006 and then again in 2012 and interviewed him. You can watch those interviews here on the My 123 Cents YouTube channel. But my very first, of course, he comes with the $1 Million belt. And he was the only one I had for a long time, actually, until after I graduated college. I hadn't bought any other figures. And then I kind of went on a little bit of a splurge and flea marketing and found a bunch that were still in the box, that I still have in the box, that I will do Let Them Breathe episode very, very soon. But I just want to talk quickly about the $1 Million Man. He comes with the $1 Million punch, and of course, his arm moves back and forth, and you can pop people with it. But I always loved LJN's, very near and dear to my heart, obviously. But the Hasbros, I really like the Hasbros as well, and I like that they're doing, Mattel is doing that retro collection in the Hasbro form too. So I've rambled way too long here, but I just wanted to show off my $1 Million Man, who is MOC, and want to hear from you. What are you collecting? What's in your collection? Let me know right here on My 123 Cents. Thanks everyone for watching, and have a great first weekend of 2019.